Lesson 7-8, using counters to show account balances. So here we're working with positive and negatives. Use your plus and negative or minus counters. Each plus counter represents $1 of cash on hand. Each negative counter represents $1 in debt or $1 that you owe, or that is owed. Your account balance is the amount of money that you have or that you owe. If you have money in your account, your balance is in the black. If you owe money, your account is in the red. Pretty simple. Suppose that you have this set of counters. Okay, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 positives, 1, 2, 3 negatives. So, the 3 positives right here are going to cancel out the 3 negatives. Or you could say the 3 negatives are going to cancel out the 3 positives. It's like, let's say you have $5. Right here, you have $5. Let me pick another color. Right here, you have $5. And then Mr. Mendez comes to you and says, hey, can I borrow $3? So I'm taking away 3 of the $5 that you have. Well, how many dollars are you going to have left? I know you're thinking of the answer. That's exactly right. You're only going to have these 2 left right here. So, what is your account balance? If you have plus 5 minus 3. Plus 5 minus 3. Your account balance should be 2. Okay, are you in the red or in the black? Well, if you have money in your account, you should be in the black, right? So, in the black. Alright, use your positive and negative counters to show an account with a balance of $5. Draw a picture of the counters below. So you have to use both. You have to use positive and negative counters to show plus $5. Okay, let's see if I can do this. I won't draw the little boxes. I'm just gonna draw the plus signs. Okay, I have 1. Oh, that's not very clear. Let me use a different color. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We'll say I have 7, but then there are 2 negatives. Well, those 2 negatives are going to cancel out these 2 right here. Oops. I'm going to cancel out these $2 here. And this is what I have left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which is our answer. Go ahead and try that for number 3 and 4. For this one, it's pretty much the same thing. For number 1, we have plus 8 plus negative 2. We could continue to draw the counters. Let me find a good color here. To maybe a dark blue would be good. Let's see if that helps. Okay, let's draw the counters. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And I have 2 negative counters, right? 1, 2. Remember that those negative counters are going to take away my positive counter. So I have 2 negative counters are going to take away 2 positive. They cancel each other out. Alright, so if I do that, these 2 are going to cancel these 2 out. What do I have left? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So, if I have $8 minus $2 is $6, or 8 positives minus 2 negatives, or 8 positive in combination with 2 negatives. It'll even out to be 5. I'm sorry, 6. 6 is my answer. Go ahead and try this. Do this for each one. It'll help you think it better. Think about this. If you write the negatives on the next one, pick another color here. I think I want to choose red. Okay, for the next one, I have 1, 2, 3, 4 negatives plus another 5 negatives. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, if I have 4 here plus 5 here, right? What is that? It's 9. It's 9. But what kind of 9 is it? It's a kind of 9? A negative 9. Very good. So there we go. Continue to do that for the rest of them. Right up to number 11. Okay, for number 12, it's telling us that out equals negative 12. And in is negative 36. So really, it should look like this. Negative 12 plus negative 136. Let's put some parentheses right there, just so that we don't get confused with the two symbols next side by side. Well, really what it's telling us is you're going to count 12 negatives and then 136 negative, and you have to add those two negatives together. What is that? Well, what's 136 plus 12? Last time I checked, it's 148, right? But is it 148 positive or 148 negative? Look here, we're adding the negatives together. So really it's 148 negative. And 148 negative is a very small number. Think about it. You're getting deeper and deeper into the negatives. It's a smaller and smaller and smaller number. 147 negative, or negative 147, is bigger than negative 148. Kind of weird because I've gone down in numbers, but really I'm going up because I'm owing less money. Question 13. The temperature at sunset was 13 Celsius. During the night, the temperature dropped 22 Celsius. Write a number model and figure out the temperature at sunrise the next morning. Okay, well, 13 is given to us right there. So we know that that's what it is. It's plus 13 right now, right? I don't have to put a plus sign because whenever we write a number, it's automatically positive unless we put a negative in front of it. So I have 13. And then what happens? Something happens, so we got to add an action of what's going to happen. Oh, the temperature dropped by 22. Drop means to go down. It dropped. So really, it's going down now. It's a negative 22. It dropped by 22. There's our number sentence, or number model. Well, now we have 13 positive minus 22 negatives. I'm going to be in the negative for sure because the negative number is much bigger. What's the difference between 13 and 22? 9. There's our answer. This page is pretty simple. We're working with inches and fractions. For A, it shows us that we have 2 and 1/16, 2 inches and 1/16. So the first thing that we do is we find the 2. Well, there it is. There's the 2. And then it says 1/16. Well, how would I know? 1/16. 1 of 16 parts between 2 and 3. I could count the little lines. And actually, if I do count them, there are 16 lines right in between there. So it's on the first line, just as it's marked right there. With 16, so if there are 16 lines, we could count by 2 next time if it's 8. We could count by 4 next time if it's 4. Again, we count here by 1s, and here we count by 2s. Okay? Let's say I wanted to do question E. Question E. 2 and 4/8. 2 and 4/8. Well, I could convert this 4/8 into a fraction of 16. What do I have to do? I have 16 like this. 4/8. What do I have to do to the 8 right here to convert it into 16? Because remember, we're working with 16 lines in between each inch. What do I have to do to the 8 to make it into 16? multiply by 2, right? That would give me 16. Remember, I have to do the same thing to the top number. 4 times 2 is 8. So 2 to the 8. So I'll just count 8 number in between here. 2, 8, 16. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There it is, right in the half point. So E will be right here, right in the middle. There's E. Okay, go ahead and do that. Well, this one's already done for you. You just have to count 7 points after the 1. This one, you have to do the same thing I just did for E. And this one, what do you have to do to the 4? This one right here, what do you have to do to the 4 to make it 16? Well, do the same thing to the 3, and you'll have your answer right there. Then I know a lot of you don't have a ruler at home that has inches, so feel free to make your own little model at home using this. Trace it on another piece of paper, and then use it to measure these line segments. This section of the page looks kind of complicated, but it really is not. Look at the example. From here they went from 1/4, 1/4, 1/4. What did they do to the 4 to turning it into an 8? Multiply 4 by, then you do the same thing to the 1. 1 times 2 is 2. And then you do the same thing to the y. What do you have to do to the 8 to make it into a 16, to turn it into a 16? 8 times, that's right. And then you do the same thing to the x right here, which is now a 2. 2 times 2 equals 4. Okay, it should be pretty simple. Now go ahead and follow the same thing I just did. What do you have to do to this 8 to turn it into a 16? Well, whatever you do to the 8 to make it 16, do the same thing to the 6 to turn it into the number that's missing. Okay. And then what did you have to do to this number to turn it into a 3? Well, do the same thing to the 16 to turn it to figure out what y is. Well, I'll do A with you. Let's see. 8 to turn it into 16, we have to multiply by 2. So let's multiply 6 by 2. Here's 12. And then what do we have to do to turn it into a 3? Divide it by 4. Divide 16 by 4. 4. And there's our answer. Unfortunately, page 235, titled 500, will be tough to do at home on your own. It's a game that's supposed to be played with 2 people. Now, if your mom or dad or brother want to play it with you, go ahead and try it. It's actually going to help you understand chances a little bit more. Okay? On the last page, which is the math boxes, you can do that on your own. For example, question 1, if you roll a regular 6-sided die, what is the probability of getting a 5? Well, it's 6 sides, so there's 1 in 6 chances because there's only 1 5 on a dice, and there's 6 possible chances, 6 possible answers. You can get one of the numbers. So chances of getting a 5 is 1 in 6. How many prime numbers are between 1 and 6? How many even numbers are between 1 and 6? And then how many multiples of 3? Depending on what the answer is, that's what it's going to be out of 6, because it's 6-sided. The rest looks like you know what to do. You should know it by now. A lot of this stuff is actually grade 3 or 4 math. And for 7.9, I will be posting that tomorrow. All right, I hope this helps. And you know what, boys and girls, I really miss you. I hope to see you at school soon. I hope more of you come tomorrow. And I hope these protests, if they continue, I hope they continue in a way that will still give you access to come to school and we can continue growing and learning together. I miss you all, and I hope to see you soon.